Welcome folks, this is Corey Babka from marksgrouplive.com, here today to talk a little bit about how to configure SalesIQ. We've talked about what SalesIQ is as a general overview. Right now I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into the configuration of the chat widget, not necessarily the tracking of your visitors because that's pretty straightforward, but more the chat widget itself. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about departments that you use to actually determine who can see which chats. We're going to talk about the widget and how do we configure it at the website level, meaning you can have different chat widgets at different websites depending on the code and what it's looking for. You can also configure settings such as your wait time, the default messages, your availability. That's what we're going to go into a little bit more, spend a little bit more on this third bullet point, if anything else. Okay, so let's just jump right to it, go right into the scene here. So we start out with CRM. It's no longer, or it's not in here, it's not in setup or anything like that. What we have to do instead is go to SalesIQ, and if I'm logged into CRM, I'll get right into SalesIQ. As you know, this is the code that we need on each page that you need the chat widget or to track your customers. Okay, this is also where you can monitor whether I'm available or not, things like that. Well, what we're going to actually talk about is the settings. Okay, and when we go into the settings here, we have the different operators, and we can add operators. We can add someone else if we want to, right? We can add in different people, right? We can go here and add like the gen user if we want to do that, and associate, what's their role, supervisor. And we can say add, and now we've got them in as an operator as well. Departments required, right? And the department is there, right? Departments, class questions, Marks Group Live, subscription information. Maybe not subscription, right? And we do that, and we add that, okay? And what does that mean? Well, back in this level, I'm going to reload this and see if it brings that person in. Now I've got both people in here, administrator and supervisor, okay? Now, with the department, the company level, it actually tells me a little bit more about what is going on with the company itself. What's most important, though, is the availability, which is down here. These time slots tell me when to have the chat widget available. So, for instance, if I go to Marks Group Live, right, and we look at this here, and I say, there's my support, there's my chat window. This will go off at 5 o'clock. Okay, 1700 hours. It will go off today at 5. So right now it's about 4:30, so another 25 minutes, and that will just go into it. We're offline, leave us a message, and that's fine. Okay, that's an important thing that you need to set up first. Okay, then we go into our departments, and so our departments allows us to go into here, right? And you can actually contact. There's different departments that you can route them to, right? And you can have different widgets and all that, those types of things. Okay, so you can actually have that as a piece that someone would choose which department they're going to based on this, and you can reroute it based on who it is, and depending on what user you put them in, like I just did for the gen user, they're not in class questions or they're not in Marks Group Live, they're in class and subscriptions. Okay, portal settings. Here's just some general things. So you can actually say, do you want to show your typing status to visitors? The ... right? It allows to see if you are writing, okay? And when it says the operator, that means someone internal. That means your people, your employees, okay? Can they send files? Sure. Can they share URLs, right? So all those different things are set by default. Google Translation, do you want to have that enabled, okay? Do you want to allow screen sharing, which is a really nice piece that you can do. Okay, operators can share their screen if they want to show this is how I would do it. Okay, audio call you could also enable. I turn mine off a lot because we don't like to have the audio call option. I don't want to be able to reach out and have them talking. I'd rather just be chat and support because we want that text that I can convert it later to a chat or to a text, to a case. We can take the chat transcript and convert that right to a case, which is a really nice piece, right? And I want that. So I don't want to necessarily do a phone call, okay? And then the transcript, okay, what do? Do you automatically send the transcript to the visitor? Or do you do it that you need to manually say, yes, I'm going to send this, okay? By default, it's manual. A lot of these are done by default, okay? Idle operators is offline, okay? If they're idle, they'll be considered offline, meaning they're not at the machine, okay? You can turn that off, turn that on as well, right? Operator idle time, right? Which if they're idle for 20 minutes, then it makes them inactive or unavailable, okay? Concurrent chat limit. How many chats can they have at one time, okay? So if you have unlimited, then they can show as engaged. You set the limit as if there's 7 and they can have 7 chats going, and that's the limit. Well, then after that, they'll be engaged and will roll to someone else, okay? Email configuration, visibility of email templates. Your email, do you want them not to show the email, right? Okay, will it be more of a common email, or both, right? The copier, who gets a copy, right? With the emails and the replies. When someone does reply to these, who gets a copy? And right now, every one of ours, if you're doing a chat with me, I actually get this email as a copy to me, okay? Feedback, everything goes as a copy to my general email, to support@marksgrouplive.com, okay? Blocked IPs, pretty straightforward. You put those in there if you don't want anyone to be able to chat with you if they're coming from that IP address. Websites, this is the big one. We're going to go into that in a second. Automation allows you to do certain triggers based on whether CRM triggers, something along those lines, that you can do visitor routing based on where they're coming from. I want to route it to someone else. Again, chat routing. If I want to have them come from a certain area, number of past chats is number of visits is more than 5, send it to me, okay, something like that. That's what you would do there. That's more the automation, okay. Templates, anything you want with your email templates, chat response templates, right? You can do that there, and you can use your messages, okay. Articles, emails, canned responses. That's what I like there. This is your email templates. These are your KB articles, your knowledge base articles, your canned responses. I actually really like these because it allows me to put in things like, well, for $99 a month, you get 3 hours a year of free support and an hour of strategy session. And whatever we're doing for marketing, I can throw in here and quickly respond to someone when they have general questions. Lead scoring, if we want to do certain things again, you can check out our other videos on lead scoring, but this adds in to the lead score. Whether they're hot, cold, or warm could be based on how many times we're doing a chat with them. Integrations, your CRM, your Zoho Desk. Okay, these are actually integrated in ours right now. You can do, though, look at this. I could also integrate with Salesforce, right? SalesIQ is a standalone application. It does not have to be part of Zoho CRM or Zoho One. You can just buy it by itself. And at that point, do I want to integrate with different pieces? And that's an impressive piece, right? Ours happens to be integrated with Zoho CRM, meaning I can push a chat to a lead or a contact or even create a deal and an activity. I can also do Zoho Desk, which allows me to take a chat and convert it to a desk case, a Zoho Desk record, right? And go from there. So let's go back into our websites because this was the important one. I can create a different website, right? Like if I look at this one here and I look at the visitor track and it shows me what it is, that's the code. Okay, that's fine. Copy that code. But this widget, and so it would be different. So if I did this and I go back to websites and I go create new, you're going to have a different, you put in the domain and it's going to be a different, code, right? Like this one right here is specific to that particular website that I'm talking about, okay, this one. But if I create a new one, the code's going to be a little bit different, and so therefore I can control my widgets independently of where they are, okay? So if I look at this one here, changes saved, right? I go into this, actually let me just go back. That hides it is what it did there. I wanted to, that enabled versus disabled. So if I do that, now I'm going to go to Mark's Group Live. This is the website, and this is where we're going to do a bulk of our configurations. Okay, we're just going to walk through each one. So we've got visitor tracking, which is the code. Okay, that's fine. That's your installation. I can go to the chat window, which is actually, I'm just rolling through. Now we're in the chat window, okay, the widget, the chat window, different pieces, okay? So we're going to jump into here. This is how you add the chat widget onto your website. The other one is visitor tracking, right? This just shows right there. This one, though, is the live chat widget, so we need to have that as well. Copy this code and add that in, and it puts the chat widget. So if I do this, it's right here down this. This is ours, right? That chat widget. Okay, so now I go to the widget itself, chooses which one do we want, okay? I can say floating, I can say button, personalized, right? Button just says where is it going to be, and I can tell it where do I want it to be. I can actually scroll down and say where do I want it, okay? If I scroll down a little bit, it says I want it to be over here. That's the icon right there. It says choose a live, that's the color, and I can actually tell it where it's going to be in the next screen. This actually tells me more appearance, right? Content, appearance, cancel that out. Let's just do this. So we go back to the widget. We've got a button there. It says this is where it's going to be. It's a fixed place, okay? I like ours to be floating, which is this one, which means that as I scroll, it stays in the same spot, okay? I always know where it is, and I prefer that. I can change the look and feel for what does it look like, right? Different pieces. And this is what we have generally, but I could change that around and say, you know what, I want to do this one and set that. And you can look see what it looks like, okay? Even as a mobile view as well, in the desktop view, okay? As I scroll down, you can upload your own chat widget sticker, okay? You choose your location. This is where you go here, 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 here. If I go back and we did a button, I scroll down, I don't have the same location. I should. It tells me what color I want, but it's always going to be the upper left, I guess. I'm going to go see if I can do it elsewhere. Personalized is choose it, and again, we have this personalized item. I generally do, like I said, every time I usually set it up, it's the float. I like it better. I think it's good. I can see where do I want it. I can do this. I can put it in the middle of the page, put it at the bottom right, upper left, upper right, upper left, wherever I want. But I can do this, and if I want that, if that's too big, then I just go and I say we're going to do this one, and you can see where we are. Okay, choose your color. You can make it purple, blue, whatever colors we want. Just going to do my standard blue. Okay, company logo. You put your own logo in here. Okay, if you want to upload that. Gravatar, that's the person where you'd have to upload it. Okay, you can hide the chat when offline. I don't actually like this. When we're offline, I like them to leave me a message. So you can turn this on and then it will go away. I prefer to not have to do this because it will take part in the business hours is what takes effect. Okay, and then you hide the chat widget in mobile browser. I don't want that on either. Okay, update that. All those changes are saved. Now I go to my appearance. I was in the appearance, I'm sorry. Now I go to content. So now the content says what font face do I want? That's fine. Customize the message. We're online. And I can do this. Now I only have so many things. And I can say, how can we help? Now notice I'm out, right? How can we help today? Right? I can do this and say, ask any questions you might have. And again, I ran out of space. We're here to support, say any support, needs, or questions. Again, so any questions for us on Zoho? Too much. I could do this. See, same thing. So you're only given so much, and every little button is a little bit different as to how much text you can put in there. I've had to mess around with it for a long time. Right now it says live chat, questions on classes or subscriptions. It's actually 2 lines, and it's the main title and the sub, but that's what I did there to make it kind of fit, right? And that it's not the best, but it's doable, okay? Now we go to the chat window. So the chat window is the same thing. We've got appearance, configuration, fields, response messages. So chat window, we got a blue, okay, because what we were looking at before was just this, right? What we're going to talk about now is we want the actual chat. When they do initiate the chat, what does it look like? Okay, and so we will do this, and we'll go through and say, well, you put in your name, and what color is it? And I'm going to say blue. So there's my blue. And I can say large or small. Large is a little bit bigger, not too much. Company logo, I can do that. And there's my logo. Operator picture, I could do instead, right? Change the chat window, and we just do that. That's fine. That's not a big deal. It's just a little bit more of color. Configurations is a lot more. Setting the chat wait time. 60 seconds before it says no one answers, and then it becomes just leave us a message. The language, the departments, right? Allow the visitor to select a department. And that's the thing that we have there. Choose your department. And they would say class questions, Marks Group Live, subscription questions, right? That's helpful to me. We have visitors to make audio calls. Might turn that off, okay? Might do that. This is, again, the visitors to share files. I don't want their files, okay? Allow visitors to mute the sound. Display screen sharing. They can do that as well. And so I'm going to update those items. Then I go into, as I scroll through, I'm going to go to my fields. Now the fields is where you want to add in different fields. And I wish that we could customize this a lot, but we can't. So what you end up with is pre-chat, post-chat, right? Ratings, feedback. Not a lot. We can only turn on and off. Pre-chat, name, email, phone, newsletter. I can enable this, disable, enable, disable, right? So I can do that. I can enable this if I want to add the phone number, which is fine, or I could disable them. And that's it for fields. I can't add fields. I can only hide or show what they're allowing me to. Response messages. This is the more important one. This is where you're going to spend a lot of time, okay? You've got your ratings down below, but up top, you can set your automatic. So online responses is your greeting messages, here's offline, which is only one, right? And you can say, thank you, you'll hear from us shortly. That's after they submit the message. Not a lot there, okay? This one though, greeting messages, thanks for chatting with us today, how can I help, right? Thank you message, it was my pleasure, please take a moment to drop us feedback, okay? Status, thank you for patience, we'll be right with you. That's when you're waiting. Busy message, sorry we missed you, everyone's busy right now. And you can see on the right how they're showing up. We should be with you soon. Engaged, sorry we're busy right now. You'll hear from us shortly. Engaged, right? Feedback, okay? So all those messages are there, and it's important to go through. They have messages out of the box, so that's fine. But you're looking at those messages. You want to make sure that you kind of can them up a little bit better, more fitting to you, because you may not like the language that's being used, the specifics that are out of the box. Okay. Now for the mobile, you can actually do a little bit more, but there's an SDK, right? So this is where you would do your Android apps, or your existing iOS if you wanted to do a live chat for mobile. You notice that when we were doing things before, there always was in the widget a mobile option. So it's already built in. This is more of this developer kit, right, that you could do things with iOS or Android. Okay, and then this is start the live chat with emails. So if I do this, you can actually have a live chat code that you would start, create, and you can actually put that in your email templates that they could click it and start a chat right away. Okay, or chat with me, right? And then you can put that code in there. Okay, and that would be the configuration. So there's a lot more going on here, but you're going to spend, I would say, the bulk of your time in the website area, going into here, and actually go into the live chat widget and just walk through the steps. Just go through everything and get it done. It'll take a little while, but you'll get it done, I promise. You'll get it all set up, and before you know, you're going to have a nice chat thing going on your system, and it will look fantastic. So what did we learn today? So we talked about departments to determine who can see the chats, right? And what is actually the questions being asked, specific routing, automation, so on and so forth, right? The widget itself is configured at the website level, and that widget is the chat piece that's either floating or fixed on your website itself. The settings are configured per website, as in each website that you have could have its own widget, and each one is configured separately. Wait time, default messages, the availabilities at the company level, but all the colors, the different look and feel could be different on every website you go through, okay? So I hope you learned a little bit about configuring SalesIQ today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out our library today for other videos like this one or other topics outside. Any questions or any suggestions for other videos, email us at support@marksgrouplive.com. Any questions on this video or anything else, of course, again, drop us a line, support@marksgrouplive.com. Thanks for watching.